Thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk today. I really, really appreciate it. This show, as soon as I saw the trailer, I was like, I know I'm going to love this. And the second I started the screeners, it was one of those ones where I just couldn't stop. You know, I just had to click the next episode and the next episode. I'd love to know just what kind of inspired this retro meets future look that you guys went for.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
You go.
Nice to meet you, Tess. Hi.
Great to meet you.
You know, we were really fascinated with this like landscape of the imagination of something that like felt familiar to all of us, but we didn't, you know, there's obviously all sorts of small other sources, but like, how come we all have the same idea of a jetpack in some utopian future? And weird, we all have this same idea. And, you know, it's born really out of advertising in the early 20th century, mid 20th century, and corporate kind of corporate art or culture that you know sold the America we all know today. You know, this is the dream that we're all living or hoping to live soon or whatever. You know, one of those.
It's, you know, it's set in a world of the imagination that was sold to us as the lives we deserved and the lives we could and should have. And whether or not we have them is the question that the show will continue to ask.
Yeah, what I really loved about this is all of the sets and the makeup and the clothes. Like, can you just talk about, you know, how hands-on were you guys with that design? And I mean, it's incredible.
Well, it's so fun. One of the really fun things about making this show for us has been everybody had to imagine everything from the ground up. There was, you know, we had references and we look back at historical record, but nobody knows what a prime roaster looks like. And so we're with the props department and the costume department, and everyone is putting this amazing imaginative effort in together. And it makes a world that's both, I think, really familiar to all of us, but it's unlike anything anybody's ever seen. And that's such a credit to the amazing crew we had and to the fun it is to work on something new and something imaginative and fresh.
The designers are amazing. On our costume designer, you know, there's no patterns in the show. Right, and that's something we didn't know. You know, you don't notice, but there's and the way it's all solid colors, and the way certain lapels are shaped. Every costume is built from the ground up, and it might look like something you think you could pull off of a rack, but you can't because it doesn't exist. And it went down to minimal details. You know, whether the rocket pin on Jack's tie would point up or down. You know, like little, you know, people, but it was that kind of a show where people were invested in those details, kind of across the board. Obviously, the props department had a, you know, dream come true, and they were geniuses, and it was so fun to see what they would come up with, and be like launching newspapers on the, you know, outside the studio doing tests and stuff. Because I mean, that might be an important little thing too, is that we really. A lot, you know, it's all practical, or the robot is puppeted. You know, the launch, the newspapers actually launch out of that thing. The jetpack guy wanted to feel as lived in and real as possible, and then, you know, and then kind of complement it with CG elements.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. All right, it's almost my time. So
I'm
last
sorry.
question. No, you're fine. You're fine. I can talk about this show all day, trust me. One word to describe this season and why people should tune in.
Hello tomorrow. The one word is
wow.
Oh, that's good.
Good one. That's a good
one. One word. And I do, you know.
You said it yourself.
I said it myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you guys so much. Season 2, fingers crossed. Okay,
I need more.
Thanks so much for watching it. Great to meet you.
Of course, nice to meet you guys. Thank you for your time.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
Good morning, everybody. How are you?
Hi, Tessa.
Hi.
Morning.
Seriously, this show. From the moment I saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna love this show." But then watching it, it was one of those ones where like I couldn't just stop. I had to click on to the next episode and the next episode. So. I'd love to know what it was about this show that drew you guys to want to be a part of it.
We already answered that once before. Why don't you jump?
For me, when I first read the sides for the audition, I felt like
I could add value to the story. And that's kind of how I approached it. I was like, I have ideas that I think could help in this, journey of building this world. And then the second thing was, I spoke to my acting coach and I said, hey, Louis, we got another one. Let's do what we do. And then I think he saw who else was attached to it. Maybe, I don't know if it was you or like Billy.
Probably it was me.
And he was, I think it was Billy. Yeah, I think it's Billy. But you're here, so
Billy.
okay, don't worry. And he was really excited about just like the writing, and so I kind of just gave it my best shot, I think. Yeah. So.
Lucky for us.
Yeah, no, really lucky for us because he's pretty brilliant.
It's a hard role. His role is
Yes,
difficult.
exactly.
Yeah.
Really hard. Off the page, it's like when I read it, not that I auditioned for your role or anything, but I was like, wow, that's going to be. It was hard to see how to play that, and I was really surprised by what Dewshane brought to it.
There's like all these twists and turns throughout the whole thing with all of your characters, like surprise after surprise, which I absolutely love. But do either of you have anything to add about what drew you to the script, to the show?
I thought it was incredible writing.
Right.
So our writers and also creators, Amit Bhalla and Lucas Jansen, the writing for me is pretty extraordinary. I mean, there's so many one-liners that you can just kind of like take into your life and live your life with their one-liners. So it was the writing from me, also the character, Shirley Stedman. Not only is she super strong and intelligent, but she's also heavily flawed. And she's having an affair with this one over here. And she also dabbles in some non-truths. And I like that about her, right? Complex characters, that's what drew me.
I love
Right.
Billy Crudup, and I play cards with him every once in a while, and I've been dying to work with him for years. So I asked to be in this show, which doesn't happen too often. And often when you ask, you don't usually get a yes. So this was one of those happy times.
Well, I
Choose this one.
Me too.
That's awesome.
I love like the retro and futuristic combination of feel, and especially when you talk about like the set design, the makeup, the costuming. So when you guys got into those outfits, did it feel like you were in this weird, like, did you feel like you were in the future? Did you feel like you were in the past? A combination of the two? How did that work out? I don't know, Hank, if you want to go first.
It's a good question, because I wondered the same thing. I mostly felt like I was in the past. Those 50s outfits and the way we speak is kind of, strange version of that, like Damon Runyon 1950s dialogue. And I felt like I was in the past. Then you get sort of jolt, then a robot would come. You're like, oh, right, we're in the future. And I think it was, I think the writers were trying to create something timeless. And that's one of the ways they did it.
Do either of you have anything to add?
Well, I think all of that stuff informs our characters. So for me, being in the costumes informed how I walked, how I talked, how I even moved my hands. I'm not normally super feminine in my real life, even though I might present today as such. But it really allowed me to kind of feel myself in a different way. I didn't necessarily feel the retro-ness of it, because I kind of like leave myself in a certain way when I get into these characters, but it definitely informed everything that I did, which makes your job a little bit easier. When everything else is really spot on, you don't have to do much.
It's funny, it confused me more.
Really?
It did. I was always like, I don't know what world I'm in exactly. And it kind of kept me on my toes in a weird way. I was happy when I saw it. I was like, oh, okay. I seem to fit in with everybody else, because I was a little worried I didn't. I had no idea what
So
was
I wasn't
going
the only
on.
You're
one?
great.
No, I felt a little odd. at
Do you
times.
feel that way in real life?
Often.
Yeah.
Deshaun, how about you? Did you feel like you were in the past, the future, combination?
Yeah, it kind of felt like I was in a parallel universe that kind of took both the past and the future, and it kind of blended those lines. So.
That's really what it comes down to. It's so good. I was, like I said, hooked from the start. But final question, it's almost my time. One word to describe Hello Tomorrow to get people to watch it. What would it be?
Intriguing.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Dangerous.
Retro-Futuristic.
That's
Ooh.
not.
Is that a one word?
You need a dash or a hyphen.
Okay, fine.
hyphen.
Okay, wait. Retrofuturism.
Oh, there you go.
Boo.
You just created a new societal movement.
Yes,
The leader in retrofuturism.
will be her porter.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Fingers crossed for season 2 because it can't end like that. I need more. So
Thank you so much.
thank you so much to all my monetary supporters, my members, and my Patreons. Love you guys.